Good morning, library family. It's been a couple of weeks since my last update, so I wanted to tell you about a couple of things that are happening around the library and around the city. First of all, I want to let you know that there will not be a staff return to work survey launched this week. I said last time that we'd be doing it every 2 weeks. But with curbside launching next week, we don't know if we can bring folks back immediately, and we need a little time to have a couple weeks of curbside under our belt so we can assess social distancing amongst the staff, assess curbside and how it's going before we can talk about bringing a new group of staff back. So rather than launching it this week, instead, we are going to launch the new survey on May 29th. It'll be due back to us by June 2nd, and the return to work date, should you choose to come back to work, will be the 8th of June. So it's a little bit longer this time, but that is just to give us a chance to figure out how we're doing with curbside. So I'll put those dates in the email below so you don't have to write them down. And you'll be contacted also by your supervisor as per usual on the 29th to help you fill it out if you need help. We do launch curbside on Tuesday, May 19th. It's at 5 locations, and those locations will be allowing folks to walk up or drive up or bike up to pick up holds as well as return items. Only 5 locations, so we're still not doing this across the system. We're still being safe and cautious, and staff are being provided the cleaning supplies. Everyone gets a mask, and we are socially distancing from our public. We know that most people using curbside will be driving a car. We're asking folks to stay inside their car, show us their ID and their library card through a closed window, and we'll be placing the items inside their car for them. Very similar to what you might be experiencing at a grocery store. Curbside is the safest next step, which is why we're taking it. And the response from our public has been incredible. People are so excited for curbside. So we'll see how it goes starting Tuesday. I'm sure we'll have some bumps to work through, but overall, this is a good next step for us. In terms of opening our doors to the public, I don't have a date for that. I think you know as well as I do that there is a lot unknown at this point. I do want to let you know that I've been involved in a committee that has been writing the city's return to work plan. So what we have that is not quite final yet, but will be soon, are some guidance around what needs to happen before we start opening our doors again to the public. So facilities modifications, for example, supplies that we would need across the system in order to open, decisions around things like social distancing and capacity. There's a lot to work out before we talk about opening our doors. And we will be sitting down and starting to write that plan, that detailed plan, starting tomorrow morning, Thursday morning. So that's our next step, but there may be some time in between curbside launching and doors opening. There's just a lot unknown, and as you know, when it comes to everything, not just the city, information is changing rapidly. So I want you to know that we're making the best decisions we can with the information we have. We're making different decisions when information changes, and I want you to feel like the city has your back. You may have noticed that the Dallas Public Library has furloughed almost 200 employees. Now, they have a lot more employees than us. They have almost 500, but still, that's a lot of people. I have not heard from the city that they are going to be requiring furloughs. As you know, the city furloughed public events employees, but that was for a very specific reason, because those folks didn't have any work to do. They normally work in the convention center, which has no conferences, and Will Rogers, which has no events. So those folks were furloughed because we want them to come back. We don't want them to find another job. So for this reason, they'll go on unemployment and we can bring them back when we're ready to start hosting conferences, conventions, and horse shows again. Other than that, we haven't been talking about furloughing anyone else. We've been finding savings in other places, such as our hiring freeze. We've slowed down on some of our construction projects. We have found some discretionary spending that we didn't need to use across all the departments. So I can't make promises forever around things like furloughs, but I can assure you that I am not hearing anything as of yet, and I may never hear anything. So don't worry too much about Dallas. They are a separate city, separate governing structure, separate elected officials. We make decisions very independent of Dallas, and they do the same with us. So try not to worry. If you have questions, make sure you ask me. You can reach out to me anytime, your supervisor or anyone else that you feel comfortable with on library staff. I want to thank those of you who are working for all of the incredible work that you're doing every single day for our community. And if you're one of those folks at home not working and you're watching this, I hope you and your family are healthy and safe. I will talk to you later. Bye.